Hello everyone and welcome. Yes, my name is Arify. It really is me. As you noticed, something has changed. Yes, I did put up a little short of this as well. The hair has gone. Rejoice. But yeah, it's time for it to go, time for a change, and it's a darn sight cooler, let me tell you. But really with this episode of my top 5, it's really a reaction video to TFNation, Europe's biggest Transformers convention, which has just passed this weekend gone, and kind of want to give you my rundown on it and my pickups that I got through it as well. First of all, it was great to be back. It's great to be in a convention atmosphere. There's been other conventions, but it's great to be back at TFNation and a convention on this scale. So we're back to a familiar looking setting in the Hilton Hotel with some updates along the way. And it was great for me after a bit of a horrendous journey getting there with the roads. I instantly saw people who I have met throughout lockdown, throughout the pandemic, which predominantly was the guys from Transformers the show. And it didn't feel like meeting them for the first time because we speak all the time, but to see them in the flesh was really, really nice. And I hung around with them for the whole weekend, which was great. There's so many other people that I met as well. Pete and Emma, lovely to spend time with them. Robert Kopp, who I've seen on YouTube as well. RJ, of course, Bisto, Brad, Exilian XLR, Bumble Jumper 82. So many people I'm sure I'm going to forget. Borders dude, of course. John, I was with him as well. I saw a friend Andy, who I was speaking mostly about Formula One with, among other things. And of course, the guys from Transformers the show, Paul, Andy, Jamie and Alexis. And it was just great. It was great to meet everyone and meet some people's partners as well, who again, we kind of got to know. And we held out base camp in the bar, and the bar had a queuing system. How awfully British. The panels, I didn't get to see as many as I would have liked, and actually a couple I missed and I was annoyed that I did, but I did go and see a wonderful panel done by Jim Sorensen and Chris McFeely of really the very first draft of the Transformers 86 movie. And oh my God, it was so different to what we finally got. And as I was saying on screen, there's something like 200 plus pages. Some scenes that have been cut down to about 3 minutes long in the finished film have got like about 9 pages to them. There's some really big characters that they could have introduced and were planning to introduce that were taken out. And some people have done some concept art for it. And honestly, it really worked. I really enjoyed it. But there was so much to it, they had to divide it into 3 sections. I loved it. And if anyone had seen that, you'll know what I mean. Justice for Rails. Saw the cosplay contest as well, and some of those costumes are probably one of the best cosplay contests I've seen in terms of Transformers. Just the depth of it was really good. They did the human category, and then they did a mech category, and there were some really good ones there. We had Armada Starscream. We had 3 Beast Wars characters representing. We had a very good Dinobot, Cheetor, and an Optimus Primal, which ultimately came second. We had a 6-shot in human form, Thundercracker that I felt looked really good. So many others as well. Swerve, IDW Swerve. But ultimately was won in a mech category by 2 Sharkticons that had light eyes that would change from green to red. They were really good and deserving winners as well. It was just great fun. Really enjoyed that. I did bump into Billy of TFNation and it was great. It was great just having a very candid chat with him. Obviously they're running around and the guys still have time to talk to you. I really hope we see TFNation back next year, or whatever happens. I'm sure there will be something on a scale, and I will be there because it's great to be back doing the things we love to do. Right, that's the rundown. Should we do a top 5 pickups from TFNation?
Top 5.
But first, honourable mention. Now, I technically got 6 things, and this isn't a toy, this is something else, but I'd like to show you it anyway. It's not quite in its finished hung up stage because it's still curled up from being in a tube and I have to get it framed. But look at that, a lovely racing style poster of Jazz with the martini stripes on it. And I'm a big racing fan, as you know. They had this Optimus Prime and Wheeljack as well, and I was tempted with Wheeljack for having the Lancia stripes on it, which I saw this. I've always liked the martini logos in motor racing, and Jazz is a particular favourite character of mine, so I think that looks really good. I've got a photo frame coming for it, and with any luck he's going to live just there. So yeah, he does look pretty cool. I got this from More Art, which was in the corner of the trader hall. Really enjoyed that. It had a load of good stuff there. Could have spent a lot of time and money there. Had to rein myself in a bit. Okay, we're going to move into the top 5 pickups, and it's not really a top 5 per se. There just happens to be 5 of them, and I happen to do top 5 videos. So we're going to meet somewhere in the middle, not necessarily one greater than the other. But we'll start off with Netflix Earthrise Soundwave for a good price, I'll have you know. And that's been probably an issue with this. I didn't think I needed another Soundwave. I got my Masterpiece Soundwave. I'm very fine with it. But I've got quite a few chug bots now, particularly in a Decepticon line. But when you've got the G2 Megatron and the 3 Seekers in their Earthrise form, you kind of need a Soundwave. And getting hold of him's been hard. Getting hold of him for a good price has been even harder. I managed to do both, and this was off In Demand actually. Very reasonable price, retail price I think you would say, considering some prices can be much, much higher. Very happy with him. Comes with Laserbeak and Ravage 2. No Rumble or Frenzy, we're not going to get into that here. So one other thing that I have had my eye on for a little while is I haven't got a Computron of any kind, and that's largely because I do not care about the character. But it is one of the few combiners I don't have, and I do like combiners. So there was an option to buy a Warbatron one, nearly didn't. I actually think Borders did in the end. Cheeky, John. Was going to get the Combiner Wars version, that was there as well. Then I'd have to get the upgrade kit to make it look presentable. But in the end, I came across this. And this is the start of the Make Toys Quantron set. Now it has its issues, the Quantron set, I understand the combination or the transformation is absolute hell. And also I have another issue, is I only have one and I've got to track down the other 4. But I actually quite enjoy that, funny enough. I actually quite like picking up combiners one limb at a time. The box sets are good, but we've said before, it's more the journey than the destination, so I can hunt around and try and find these. I've actually located 2 more already. I've struggled to get hold of. So I've located Nose Cone and Lightspeed. I've got to get, this is Strafe, isn't it? Yeah, I've got to get Afterburner and Scattershot, and Scattershot's probably going to be the hardest. So if anyone knows or where is the remainder of the Quantron set for a reasonable price, do hit me up. One thing that did surprise me on this is absolutely tiny. Now, this is not Masterpiece per se, this is Chug Plus, as I like to call it. No one else is calling it that. Start calling it that, please. But it's not big. It's like deluxe scale in Chug terms. And I'm thinking for a combiner, are they all going to be this size? Okay, Scattershot might be the bulk of it, but it was very, very small. And coming up next, which I got from the Space Bridge, got him loose, got him for £10. Pipes, Legacy or Kingdom Pipes, I don't know which one ever it is now, but I absolutely loved him and I couldn't stop fiddling with him in the bar all night. He's just fun, he's chubby fun, that's all he is. You can take off all the little pipes and stick them wherever you like. You can put them up as shoulder stacks, have them up there, have them holding as guns. He's got good posability, good waist swivel, ankle tilt. It's just good fun. I just really love it. I love transforming him back and forward. The truck mode's a bit hit and miss, but I really do love the robot mode. 10 quid loose, it's just a bit of fun. Nothing more than that. Really happy I got him. But then we get a bit more serious, and I was able to track down something which I've been after for quite some time for a reasonable price. It's hard to say whether this is reasonable, but when you consider some of the other offerings, particularly some of the other offerings that were there at TFNation, I do not feel hard done by. Titan's Return, Misfire. I finally have the final new Seeker. I've got Trigger Happy, I've got Slugslinger, and now I have a Misfire. I actually have it with an alternative head as well, a bit of a G1 inspired head, which I haven't got on at the moment, but I'm really pleased. I actually saw it for a very expensive price elsewhere and wasn't prepared to pay that, and this was a bit more reasonable. It wasn't retail price, but it wasn't obscene either, and very pleased with it. Got it loose, certainly not in a box, but I've got them. I've got all 3 of them now, and it got to the point where you start picking up these holy grails. You think, I'll never do that, and I've got some bots in here which I think I'd never would have got. What are the chances now? I've missed the boat. And if I can get some rare ones like these, this is rare because it was limited and now is really sought after and therefore very expensive. This is where these things become rare. So the fact that I was able to finally get it where I long thought I'll never get it, not for a reasonable price, I feel a real sense of completion. Now I have my little rebirth shelf down there with Galvatron, Cyclonus, Scourge, Slugslinger, Misfire, Trigger Happy and Six Shot. It's all sitting there quite nicely, thank you. And then to finish off, Robot Paradise Thomas, the knockoff version of Fans Toys Thomas. And I got this from Ben's Collectibles. I told him I was interested before the convention, and I wouldn't say he set one aside. He had plenty available. I just went and picked one up, and very, very good. Haven't transformed him yet. Very heavy, very heavy. Very glad I got him. Perfectly fine price. I've got no trouble buying this because I'm happy to tell you it's in and around the sort of 80 to 90 or even £100 depending which vendor you go from. Considering the Fans Toys release is something like £250. It's a no-brainer. I've got no problem buying knockoff if it saves you that level of money and it's worth the price. So very happy with him. I wasn't going to get him because I have got an Astrotrain. I've got the Transportation Captain from Fancy Cell, which is again a very good one, and I'm not parting with that, don't try it. But I really do like the MP scale, and I can't wait to get him transformed into train mode. I understand there could be a bit of problems with the side rods not connecting on one side. I will find out when I get there. I haven't done it yet. And there you go, that is really my top 5 pickups from TFNation and my kind of experience of TFNation as a whole. It was really great to be back. It's obviously going to be a bit of a building year for conventions. Conventions have been hit hard with the pandemic, but it was really good to do it again. It was really good to just go and have a nose around the trader hall and talk to people and meeting people fresh, seeing faces of old again in like-minded venues, celebrating things like Transformers. And when you see other people's snapshots and videos and pictures of the event, I'm actually excited more even now, even though it's been a day or two since the convention. I actually am looking back at it and seeing how much fun other people have had. And that really does give me a warm sense of feeling of satisfaction that I was there as well. I'm really glad it's happened. And I cannot wait for another convention, and I hope to see you all there. Anyway, me and my new hair would like to thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you on the next one.